Let's dive into the main character of this game series. Kratos, a demigod Spartan warrior, harbors a vendetta against Ares. In Greek mythology, there is a character named Kratos, but the similarities end there. Kratos was never mortal, never Spartan, and never sought revenge against the gods. Instead, he was the god of power and strength, born to the Titan palace, the Titan of battle, and the goddess Styx, the primordial goddess of the River Styx. Unlike Kratos was an ally to the gods, not their enemy.
Foul beast! I will send you back to the depths of Hades!
Since Kratos says, "I will send you back to the depths of Hades," it seems likely these are meant to be the undead Greek beings known as reimagines. They can't be shades, as those appear later in the game as wraiths. Assuming these are reimagines, they don't align with the organized soldiers wielding weapons we see in the game. Typically, reimagines resemble traditional zombies, including their penchant for eating human flesh, which they don't seem to do here. Obviously, there are no magical red orbs that increase people's stats in Greek mythology. If Kratos picked up a Gorgon eye, shouldn't it turn him to stone? That's what they do, after all, and Kratos clearly looked at it. Also, Gorgon eyes don't grant health, it's Gorgon blood that does. It's amusing how close they were to getting that right.
Sign it. Save me.
In this game, Hydra is depicted as a gigantic, three-headed sea dragon. In the actual myth, it's a roughly human-sized, nine-headed land snake. Also, it was defeated by Heracles, not Kratos. The Hydra's breath is supposed to be fatally poisonous, which doesn't seem to be the case here. In the myth, the final Hydra head was actually immortal. Even Heracles couldn't find a way to kill it, so he ended up burying it alive under a rock.
Your greatest challenge awaits in Athens, where even now my brother Ares lays siege as we speak. Athens is on the verge of destruction. It is the will of Ares my great city fall. Zeus has forbidden the gods from waging war on each other.
Zeus never forbade the gods from waging war against each other. In fact, several of them did so openly during the Trojan War. Since Athens is under attack by followers of the god of war, this likely refers to the Peloponnesian War. However, if that were true, there should be an army of Spartans assaulting the city instead of just a bunch of monsters. Imagine how much more interesting that would make the story. What a conflict it would have created for Kratos. A missed opportunity. Numerous Minotaurs appear in this game, but in Greek mythology there is only one Minotaur, who was slain by the hero Odysseus, not Kratos.
Medusa, the queen of the Gorgons. Bring me her head, Kratos, and I will give you the ability to wield its power.
Medusa in the myths doesn't have a snake body for her lower half, although it's a cool idea in God of War. Given that Athena cursed Medusa and ultimately played a role in her death, it would make more sense for Athena to assign you this task instead of Aphrodite. Moreover, you don't need Aphrodite's blessing to use Medusa's power. All you have to do to turn someone to stone with Medusa's head is point it at them and hope they look into its eyes, just like Perseus did. Being turned to stone by Medusa's gaze doesn't just wear off unless you're Atlas. Medusa was defeated by Perseus, not Kratos. How do these Gorgons manage to turn Kratos to stone, even when he's not looking at them? Yet at other times, when he's clearly staring at them, he doesn't turn to stone. In this game, it appears that instead of turning to stone by looking at a Gorgon, you turn to stone by being within the gaze's area of effect at certain times. That's not how it works in the myth. Was under the impression that only the first Gorgon slain was Medusa and all the others were simply lesser Gorgons. However, according to this text, they are all Medusa, which is highly inaccurate considering there was only ever one Medusa in Greek mythology. The god of war and the other Greek gods are not gigantic. When the god of war actively participates in war, he brings his companions Deimos, Phobos, Kaidomos, Eris, and Enyo with him, as well as his chariot. The god of war's army seems to largely consist of undead warriors and harpies, both of which are creatures from the underworld. We later find out that Hades is actively against what the god of war is doing, seeing that he helps us in our quest to kill him. So why isn't Hades reigning in this insane amount of underworld monsters that seem to be escaping the underworld and joining the god of war? Seriously, Hades, do your job. Ares now has shades in his army, which are another type of underworld creature. Seriously, Hades, what's your worth if you allow dead beings to escape your domain?
Lord Zeus.
Kratos, you grow stronger as your journey continues. But if you are to succeed in your quest, you will need my aid. I offer you the power of the greatest of all the gods, the father of Olympus. I offer you the power of Zeus. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power and use it to defeat your enemies.
Zeus essentially grants Kratos the power to hurl lightning bolts just like he does. However, in mythology, Zeus's lightning bolts are crafted by Hephaestus and the Cyclopes. So, if Kratos is using lightning in the same manner as Zeus, technically every time he depletes his supply of bolts, he would need to place an order for a new batch and wait for Hephaestus to make more. Ancient Athens didn't have a massive temple dedicated to an oracle. It had an oracle well. Also, it's odd to see statues of Nike, the goddess of victory, outside an oracle temple. Nike was never linked to that type of thing. The only known statue of Nike in Athens was at the Athena Acropolis as part of the Athena Nike statue.
The oracle spoke of Pandora's box. Can it be real?
The box exists. It is the most powerful weapon a mortal can wield.
Pandora's box isn't a weapon and doesn't grant the power to kill gods. It was just a container for all the evils of the world, which Zeus released on humanity by tricking Pandora into opening it. In the original tale, it wasn't even a box but a Pythos jar.
Only they can guide you to Kronos, the Titan.
A titan lives?
The Titans aren't dead. They're alive but imprisoned in Tartarus. Kronos in particular wasn't sent to a desert of lost souls with a giant temple on his back. He was dismembered and cast into Tartarus. All Titans are immortal, just like the gods, and thus cannot die. Sirens aren't supposed to look like that. They're half woman, half bird. Plus, they don't reside in a desert of lost souls. They live on a small island in the Mycenaean Strait.
No, not there, over here!
Kratos can clearly hear them singing, which should mean he's under their spell and control, but there's no sign of that here. Neither this temple nor its supposed builder exists in Greek mythology. That's more like Moses' story, wrong mythology.
I offer you the very blade I used to slay a titan.
Artemis never used the blade to slay a titan. The Titan War occurred before Artemis was born, and none of the titans were killed. Artemis is known for using a silver bow, not a massive purple sword. It's hard to imagine why a goddess of the hunt would need such a weapon. Hades is not known to have a shield. Zeus and Athena have shields, but not Hades. As for the shield of Zeus, you might think there are no inaccuracies, but you'd be mistaken. The shield of Zeus, also called the Aegis, was eventually passed down to Athena and had Medusa's face affixed to it. That's not what's shown here. The only three-headed dog in Greek mythology is Cerberus. There's no such thing as a breed of small dogs that transform into Cerberus clones over time. Additionally, these dogs have clubbed tails, while Cerberus was often depicted with a snake tail, never a clubbed one. In what reality does Poseidon leave his trident sitting in a random temple for anyone to take? It's his most prized possession and symbol, and he's almost never seen without it. It's also a weapon of immense power, yet in this game it's never even used as a weapon. Alright, I counted, and this door has exactly 9 muses, just like in the myth. Props for that. This hidden chamber contains magical sand with blessings from Zeus, which is odd since Zeus isn't associated with sand. You'd expect it to be electricity or eagle feathers or something.
Yo, is that Minotaur's Baraka?
Centaurs in mythology have human upper halves and horse lower halves. There's no giant robot Minotaur in Greek mythology, though that would be cool.
Lord Hades.
What's up with this doom eternal demonic look Hades has in the game? Hades isn't a monster, he looks just as human as the other Olympians. Satyrs aren't disciplined warriors, they're more like mischief makers, partygoers, and sexual deviants. It's unlikely you'd see one challenge someone to a real fight.
The Blades of Chaos.
Obviously, the Blades of Chaos aren't a thing in Greek mythology.
They've built this temple to offer prayers to Athena! This entire village stands as an affront to Lord Ares! Burn this village! Burn it to the ground!
For anyone wondering, yes, there was indeed a huge rivalry between Ares and Athena, both in mythology and real-world history among their followers. Ares' followers included the Spartans, so this plotline is well-researched and I have no issues with it.
Nah, seriously? Pandora's box is not that big.
Kratos, your quest is at an end. You are the first mortal to ever reach Pandora's box.
Pandora had it first, hence the name Pandora's box. Well,
you are becoming all I'd hoped you'd be, Kratos. Now, with your wife and child dead, nothing will hold you back. You'll become even stronger. You will become death itself.
that job's already taken, Ares. You might want to have a talk with a certain guy named Thanatos.
In death, he had failed. Kratos' life faded, and his cursed soul was cast into the fires of Hades.
Kratos literally dies here, and yet neither Thanatos nor Hermes shows up to bring his soul to the Underworld. Come on guys, get moving. This is probably why Ares thinks that job is available.
The River Styx beckoning below. The currents strong enough to carry even the strongest mortal.
Freshly deceased souls do not fall straight into the River Styx. They are brought to its shore, where they are met by Charon, who ferries them across. Also, are you sure that's the River Styx? It looks like it's on fire, which would make it the River Phlegistelle. The Underworld is looking a lot like hell, which would make sense if it were Tartarus, but it's not. In Greek mythology, when you die, you can't just leave the Underworld. That's not how it works. Sure, there's a chance, but only if you get permission from Hades first, and that very rarely happens. Plus, where is Cerberus during all of this? It's his literal job to prevent this kind of thing.
Kratos, return, but too late. Ares has taken Athens. There is no more hope. No hope.
The Peloponnesian War lasted about 30 years, and I don't think the events of this game span that long.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me.
But it had not always been this way.
Zeus! Do you see now what your son can do? You cast your favor on Athena, but her city lies in ruins before me. And now, even Pandora's box is mine. Would you have me use it against Olympus itself?
Ares is certainly bloodthirsty, reckless, and kind of a douche, but he never turned against Zeus or Olympus itself. He wasn't even part of the coup against Zeus that happened at one point, and even Athena was involved in that.
To defeat me, the god of war?
After thousands of years, Pandora's box was finally opened.
It's been opened before by Pandora, must have missed the Greek myth where Ares started growing mechanical spider legs out of his back.
I was trying to make you a great warrior.
You succeeded.
Ares bleeds red blood in this scene, even though deities in Greek mythology are supposed to have golden ichor running through their veins.
Athena, rid me of the memories that haunt me still.
You have done well, Kratos. Though we mourn the death of our brother, the gods are indebted to you.
Here's a thought, why not give him some water from the river Leth? That stuff is literally used to erase people's memories. We see the throne of Ares in a room by itself, but all the gods' thrones are supposed to be together in a semicircle at the top of Mount Olympus. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please write me comments if I'm wrong. Smash that like button and subscribe so you can always receive new videos like this. I upload Easter eggs, facts, and stories about games. That's me. That's LB Network Lives.